2 uploads in 2 days. You lucky devils. So now you finally bought your house, you're travelling over and start living here. Pick a good time of year to start. I would advise probably spring, especially if you need to do roof repairs, things like that. Summer's too hot, winter's obviously too cold. Spring is real good. I'll run through a few of the other things that we sort of found as we've gone along. Hopefully a couple of little tips or something might help someone. We'll see. Get friendly with your neighbours. Our neighbours are amazing, none of which speak English. We actually speak to one of our neighbours in German. I can't even remember doing German at school, but I understand most of what he says, which is great. Yeah, you'll often trade eggs or apples, vegetables. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's exactly the way life should be. Everyone here shares. It doesn't matter that we're foreign. No one cares. So yeah, get in with your neighbours, and also get in with your local sort of hardware store. Most towns will have one to some degree. While they can be maybe 5% more expensive than the you know, like the big box stores like a B&Q or a Homebase or something, it's better to go local, and you can often get it delivered on that day. We've made orders through some of the big box stores before, and you can be waiting a week, 2 weeks. If they don't find where your house is, they don't try. A local company will try, and they'll talk to the neighbours, and they'll find out exactly where you are, and they'll remember for next time. So yeah, definitely go local when you can. A little facts about plumbing. If you've got anything that's outside like this, get some insulation for it. We didn't last year, and this actually comes from the mains feed, just down by the bridge. Comes into the house here somewhere from underneath, and we took it from this room and we put it into the kitchen. Now, what happens when it gets to minus 13, I think it was last year, that we got down to? Everything in that pipe freezes, and that then goes through to all of your fittings inside. So that goes to our boiler, to our kitchen sink, to our shower, to our toilet. Everything froze. So get yourself a heat gun as well, just in case, and just be prepared to change all of the washers. As soon as they freeze, those washers are pretty much useless. Our shower doesn't work properly anymore. Our toilet, the flush just cracked where everything froze up on it. Our reverse osmosis machine went bang. Yeah, these are all things that, with hindsight, spending 2 or 3 quid on a bit of insulation goes a really long way. That was just the stuff that we had done. The original plumbing in the house had obviously gone through, I think the place was empty for about 10 years. So it had gone through 10 cold seasons. So every tap, every washer, every joint leaked. So if your house that you're buying or that you've purchased was empty for a long time, save yourself the trouble and go and buy a load of washers and swap them out. If you're buying or have an old property, you should take into consideration that when the houses were built, they had very limited electrical supply then. So I believe in our house there was 1 or 2 plug points, and I think 3 lights, just single bulb lights. So obviously if you're moving in and you want a washing machine, tumble dryer, the electrics just won't take it. So definitely try and work out what you can and can't have on the original electrics, and upgrade as you need to. It's a lot cheaper to do that than have your appliances go bang. if you guys are going to be on a budget like us, buy tools as and when you need them. It's not imperative to have sort of a full workshop or anything like that. We bought a lot of tools with us when we came from Malta, but the quality of the cheaper stuff here is actually all right if you're just doing work yourself on your house. If you're going into business, obviously I would suggest to get the DeWalt's, Makitas, things like that. But the cheap sort of own brand ones here have been all right. So don't stress about getting everything all at once, and just buy it as you need it. Get yourself a family of axes. Ones like this. This one was actually left in the house, so I don't actually use it. We've got a big axe here and a small kind of chipping axe. You don't want to be swinging that big one when you're just trying to make little bits of kindling. If you like us and you like driving around and seeing places, you're gonna see dogs and cats everywhere pretty much. You'll often see a group of puppies and things like that. Now, we haven't got the space to take any more in, so whenever we go out we always make sure we've got a bag of dog biscuits or treats or something like that. There's always going to be a little dog that looks a little bit skinny or something like that. So yeah, always keep one in the boot. Another thing I tend to keep in the boot, this is primarily if you're in a village, that is a saw. I think it's only happened twice in the time that we've been here, but it's very rare for people to actually go along our road unless you live here. It's not really a cut through to anywhere else. So if a branch does fall in a storm or something like that, someone might not see it for days. So take a saw with you, otherwise it could just be left there. So just sort it out yourself. Don't concentrate on all of the space at once. If you can get one room, possibly two, semi-functional, comfortable, warm, clean, yeah, you can do it. For us, it's been so much better trying to tackle one room at a time than it has to be stressing about 10 rooms. It's just not worth the aggro. Just, yeah, don't bother. Sort yourself out one room at a time, be comfortable, no stress. Don't worry about everything being pretty. I know that sounds crazy, but if you look at our little compost area, you'll see what I mean. It's overgrown, there's a ton of wood that I need to go through, we're throwing things here that we're not giving to the chickens. Obviously that doesn't look like the things that you see on Instagram and stuff like that, so don't set the bench too high. Get things functional and make them pretty after. If you've got the space, save what you can, whether that be bits of wood that you can throw on the fire. We've got stones here, we've got broken tiles there, but we've got good ones over here. We finished the tiling on the roof, but if we've got space for these, it's worth keeping just in case a few crack or something like that. There's an abundance of space when you buy a place over here, unless you buy an apartment or something, obviously. So yeah, keep hold of what you can. It's always best to reuse rather than buying the new stuff from China. Now, I won't say this is imperative, it's a bit of a luxury, but if you can't afford or don't want to use air conditioning, get yourself a pool. This one has been absolutely magnificent. I made my own filter for it, which was, I'll show you. This sand filter I built myself. I think it cost about 60 lev in total, and this is the tiny little filter that comes with a pool of this size. So I would definitely advise to upgrade. Loads of things online on YouTube about how to do it. But yeah, I say it's not a must, but it gets really hot here in the summer, and it's far cheaper and easier to do that than install AC. If, like us, you are going to be processing your own firewood, I would definitely advise putting it outside your house if you can. All of our neighbours do that. There's, you know, if there's space there, use it. There's no point taking up space in your garden or your barn. Keep that for tools. If you're going to do what we've done and live in a property while you're doing it up, doing it yourself, forget about the niceties in life, because I live in these clothes. They're janky, they're horrible, they keep me warm, and I don't have any nice clothes anymore. Your car is always going to be filthy, you're always going to be cleaning it, so you just got to get used to the fact that you're going to be living in a tip for a little while. You will find lovely animals like this, which you agree to take home, but then they do bring their friends, so just be prepared. Just appreciate where you live. All of this stuff down here is irrelevant when I'm looking at the views, or I'm on a walk, or a lovely drive, sitting in a nice restaurant. Don't let anything get you down. It ain't worth it. Just appreciate where you are.